Hello and welcome to JK, It's Not About You. I'm Jen Rouse.
And I'm Kelly Mirko, and we're your hosts. We're new empty nesters, and we're here to talk about what the next chapter looks like.
For so long, we were taxi drivers,
Domestic engineers, chefs,
tutors, cheerleaders,
and everything else that goes along with being a parent.
No days off, no paid vacation, and very limited time to pursue our own passions. It just wasn't about us.
It really wasn't. Join us on this new endeavor as we find passions in all things empty nesting. The little birdies have flown the coop and they're living their best lives, and now it's our turn. We're sweating through our 50s trying to figure it all out.
From resetting on marriage, navigating divorce, dating at 50, we're here to reclaim our calendars, our bodies, and our newly found identities in this confusing yet exciting new phase of life.
So grab your glass of wine or beverage of choice, your cozy sweats, and join us as we unpack all things real in our 50s.
Well,
welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 2.
Episode 2.
I can't believe we're on the second episode.
I know. It's going to be so fun.
JK, it's just not about you.
It is not about you. It's the best part.
It's so fun. Did you have a good week? You went to the wine country?
I went to the wine country. We had a great week, had a great crew, had amazing food and tours, and went to some great estates. And we
I love the wine country.
Had a good time with our team.
That's so
great.
fun.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have to do some cooking, foodie type things on this podcast because that's like so fun, you know?
Absolutely. I think that we can have a celebrity chef or something, like maybe
like your
join
husband.
us. Yeah, exactly.
Like your husband. He hates being on TV.
I know, but he's really good at it.
Yeah. So that would be fun. Okay. Well, while you were gone,
yeah,
I went to a book, kind of a book club review of an almost empty nester book, which I think we'll have her on here.
That'd be great.
She was really interesting and talking about, I think she has one child left at home, kind of like me. So, you know, just almost there.
Yeah.
And what that is going to look like. And, you know, and it was great. Like all these people were there, all these older people, and everybody feels the same thing.
I know. So did you like learn anything from listening to her?
I did. And I can't wait to have her on here because she did some really cool exercises with her kids.
Interesting. Like one. Give me one.
I'll give you one. So she talked about for Mother's Day, what she wanted was a written like journal entry from her kids about their most prevalent, like their best memory growing up.
Okay. That's really
and
cool.
She said that they were nothing that she expected. And I thought that was such a cool thing. I would really love our kids to do that.
Yeah. That's
like what sticks out in their mind as one of their best childhood memories.
Yeah.
You know, with us.
Yeah, because you're just trying to create, you know, so many things thinking like they're going to remember this.
It's so
but it's
amazing.
Interesting. It's like giving the toddler the gift and all they want to do is play in the box, you know. It's like, seriously, you know what I mean?
So true.
So I think that like things that stand out in their mind, we are going to be like, wow.
It's crazy. Okay. So that was my week. I missed you, of course. You were gone. We haven't really seen each other.
I heard the crowd. You were a crowd pleaser.
They wanted to talk to me after
because stole the show,
which I kind of felt bad about. But I think a lot of it was stemmed around Sarah.
Okay.
And I mentioned that I raised, you know, a special needs daughter, which I did, and how much time that took for me. Like how much of that was. I didn't realize how much of that was, you know, time spent with
consuming,
her.
Yeah.
And how, when that was gone, what a huge void I had to fill. Like, it is so crazy.
It is crazy. And just also, for a long time, you never really thought that she was going to be able to do what she is doing.
That is huge.
And, you know, driving by herself without assistance or anything special in the car and going to Pepperdine, which is like a very hilly campus. And she navigates very well,
she's crushing it. She's doing, yeah.
So she's able to do so many things. So it was like, even like you always thought maybe she would still be around in some sort of way.
Totally.
And she's not. So you're like, Oh my God.
She's really on her own.
She's
and I'm
really
like,
on her own.
and I know you've watched me as a friend, like raise her.
Yeah.
And every big milestone was like, how are we going to manage this? And I think so when I spoke at this thing, it was all these other parents that have kids, autistic kids or kids that, have some, mental health issues or, and anyway, it was like a way to relate to this crowd. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that, you know? So it was like, it was interesting. So I know that we have to branch on that topic. We have to talk more in depth about that. I wish you were there too. So we're going to read the book over Thanksgiving break.
We're reading the book over Thanksgiving break.
That's the deal. Yes. And we're going to have her on. She's already agreed to be a guest. And I think that would be really insightful to have an author that spent time really diving into this subject, because we are just sort of having conversations, which I love.
Yes, and a lot of just from our experience, what we're experiencing.
I mean, I just love having conversations with you about everything. So it's
easy.
It's great. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So what's on the docket? Well, this is a big week for me.
This is a big week for you.
Yeah. So Nate, my son, is graduating high school.
Friday.
So when you guys watch this, he'll have graduated, which is nuts.
The last chick in the
My
nest.
last little man. Yeah. And we spent a little time this week applying for the college situation, which I know you did that with Elias. And
we had very different experiences, but yes. But
it was just one. I mean, he just wanted to apply to one. Okay, and Sarah, that was insane. I mean, the college helper, the essay helper,
Dude, the pressure the whole these kids put on themselves.
Yes. And I think a majority of our audience is the latter.
Yes.
They're not applying to one.
I was like, you know what? You guys can only, my children, 90% acceptance rate. Like, if the school does not have a 90% acceptance rate, we're not applying. Because this 20, 10, 30, 40 stuff, people are like jumping off bridges. I mean, it's horrible.
Well, and
we're going to get a great education and we're not going to like stress about it.
And I think they end up where they're meant. After stressing for so long with Sarah.
Yes.
I mean, it was like Stanford, and she really did have like the grades but like along with every other person on the planet, and it's just like you set yourself up for this, disappointment and this heartache and this.
It was hard to watch.
It was hard. That was really hard to watch because she didn't have a sport or something else to dive into. She just had her academics, and that was her whole thing.
And Elias got into everything,
which is great. And I think Nate will get in. I'm pretty sure.
If Elias got in, I'm pretty sure Nate's getting in.
I think yes. And I'm trying to just navigate that with Nate. Like, okay, but he's an athlete, which we know, and but injuries are occurring, and I want to have like our foot into the college, like so we can find something else, like it was so fun spending a night with Elias while you were gone. We went to her restaurant, Firewood. We got to plug it again. They're our sponsor. Little do they know. No, that he won best chef, best wait staff, best, what else did we get? Best restaurant. In Park City, and Elias graciously got up and got the award on behalf of his father and his mother, and we were just talking about how he's found this passion in engineering, and how they do like naturally find their next. So I'm trying to release the control and the anxiety and the, gotta know what's next.
Yes, well, and I think that our girls really had a better idea of what they wanted to do. They do. And our boys are, need more guidance, need to kind of feel things out in a different way. And Elias, I think we're on our third, fourth major that we've picked, You
know what though? He's thriving at this one, which I kind of knew.
He's thriving. And I think that it's awesome. And I'm glad that he went through all of those steps to get where he is today.
Yeah.
You know, I think that it's great. So yes, I think that people end up where they're supposed to be.
And we as parents worry so much about this.
Well, we do because we want.
But all parents, I think we spend so much time worrying about the next. Will they make this? Will this happen? What will this look like? And I just think like it's so nice to know you're not alone, and like these feelings and these expectations, and I mean, having been through it.
Yes,
with
of course.
Now you had 2 kids.
Yeah,
I've just finished. I mean, Nate literally is applying to one school. So I hope it's like
I don't think it's going to be a problem.
We're in state, so let's hope
with good grades.
Yeah, so let's hope that is
it's he's definitely going to get in there. I'd be shocked if he didn't. And I think that you know you just it's part of life. You know, you navigate that situation.
Yeah,
you know,
it really is. It really is, and it's. So I think, I really think that that's part of the growing pains of letting them go. You know, like I sort of wanted to talk about, like, I don't know about you, but Melissa just left, and you were talking to me before we started shooting this that, you know, she's worried about when she's going to see you again, and that anxiety of like not having the breaks, not having the set time where she can come home. She's actually out in the world. Which is, you know, what you prepared her to do and all of that. And it's so weird for me that she's not going to be here.
I know.
For the holidays, you know, like, okay, we can't just have her over here.
No,
like,
she's busy during Christmas and she's needed where she's at and she's not able to do that this year. And it's really, really hard. I think one of many things that will be hard, you know. I'm used to her not around for Thanksgiving, even though we're going there for Thanksgiving, just because she was always training.
Yes.
Right? And even her birthday, she was usually gone at a race. But like Christmas or Hanukkah, you know.
Like we always have a December block of like a few weeks, you know.
So we will not, unfortunately, have all of our kids, but we're going to have a good time.
When they're all here, at one point, we got to have them on to so you guys can meet our kids because
they're amazing.
They are.
We're lucky.
We did so well. You know, like I know didn't we have somebody write in and ask us about?
Yes, I was just going to say it for my glasses on.
Yes.
I don't want to mess this up. But Rose, a party of 3, wrote in on our trailer, commented on that post, and with a topic idea of how to encourage the young adult children to keep in touch. And I think that's a really good topic.
I do too.
I think
our girls do that. I feel like daughters, I don't know. Nate's really bad about his phone.
Elias, I think that I'm blessed on both ends.
You are. See, I have to have Nate communicate better. I mean, just
Sarah's
when he's on...
pretty good.
Sarah's pretty good.
Yeah. Melissa, I talk to about 5 or 6 times a day.
That's unusual.
Easily.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I know every move.
Yeah.
Every move. And Elias, I would like to say I speak to him daily, but sometimes I bet we skip a day.
Okay. But daily's pretty good.
Pretty good.
But you touch base, you know?
He texts Jen and I every Sunday asking us what night family dinner is.
Yes. This is a new thing.
So here we are about, you know, I think just keeping the doors open and not.
I think you let go of the parental thing, and you become more of a friend, sounding board,
absolutely,
advice giver.
Yes.
I know that's how it's been for
me too.
For Sarah, you know, like she calls me about like, you know, problems with friends or scheduling or whatever, and it's like I will be talking to her like I talk to you.
And it's great. We're just so lucky. I mean, our kids call us to have these conversations.
Well, Elias wants to learn to cook. He would like us to have weekly cooking segments so that he can learn how to make, you know, some things on his own. And I think that's like a very good, useful skill. I think that's amazing.
Amazing.
We're making Nate join us on that one.
Yes, we are.
So I think that would be a really good, fun thing to do
and
navigate. I mean, do you have some ideas?
I mean, I would say that like with Melissa, it's easy to focus on her because she went away, like Sarah, and it was our first out of the four.
Well, she went abroad.
And she went abroad. I think that not pushing her, she knows the door's always open, and I think that it was such an adjustment when she first got to school, especially because it was during COVID, and so it was just, an interesting time. And I just think being a good listener, to be honest with you, I don't have to have the solution to every problem.
Yeah.
And I can just listen to what's going on in her life. And sometimes, like us, everyone just needs to be heard. Doesn't mean that they need
true.
something, And so I think by doing that, it's just been easy for my kids to call me up and run something by me or tell me a problem or whatever's going on in their life,
Checking in.
We're big checker-inners.
I know. That's very nice.
Yeah.
You have a good example of communication, and
I
they
try.
know they can always come to you.
Yeah, of course. As your kids
And
do as well.
I've tried to follow suit, it's,
You have followed suit, and we have the same thing, which is why the four of our kids are so close.
They're so close. They're like brother and sister. I know, it's great. It's great.
Yeah. Lucky.
We are lucky.
We are.
So I hope that answers your question, Rose. But if you would like to, have us go deeper into this, I'm like, Kelly's sort of ahead of me in this.
A little bit. Not far.
A little bit.
But we welcome any other questions.
Of course. I think it's really helpful to have topics brought to us, what we can just talk about. And I know we're not here solving, world's problems, but it feels good to communicate and talk about things,
Just talk about things that other people are thinking and that are real subjects, and that just because I'm sad and Taylor Swift comes on and I start crying on my car on the way over the mountain, it's real. I miss my kid and I love her and I wish that she was here, I'm glad that she's doing what she's doing, but I get sad.
It is a very normal
I don't think
thing.
that I should have to hide that or be ashamed of that, and be get over that. I think that that's okay, as long as I'm not projecting that on her.
And that's the difference. That's the hard part, right?
Yeah, but I don't.
You don't. But I think that would be hard. I mean, for me, letting go of controlling Sarah as in a physical way, making sure she's taking her medicine and her nutrition and all the things that I really stressed about.
Yeah.
I had to cognitively let go of that you've given her the tools. She sets an alarm to take it. Let's hope that
she's got it.
She's got it. And so far, so good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been...
And so far, so good is over a year. She's a sophomore. It's not like we just
left.
Yeah.
True.
She's doing great.
True. So she is. She is.
All
right.
Okay. We're back. Leave me off.
So we were just talking about the lack of control, the anxiety.
Yes.
And how we have found other interests. I think the podcast led me, this sort of developed because I was trying to find my footing into career type things because I had to raise these kids by myself. And you know that. And then you have always had a career or something going on at the same time, but you also raised your kids a majority of the time, right? We can honor that. And so you wanted something flexible because you could be there, right?
100%.
And I knew I still want to be able to go watch snowboarding competitions this winter, go watch Elias climb, go with you to see Melissa. Yeah. I want that flexibility in finding something that is creative and helpful. And I have spent, as you know, 2024 was a freaking rough year for me. And very. And you were alongside of it and you really held my hand. And I will be forever grateful that you were there, dude. You had me. But how to find our next path, like our next chapter,
Yeah.
our next thing.
I agree. I think like a lot of it is organically happening. I do. I feel that, and for both of us, in this way and in just a lot of other ways.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. Like, it's a little nerve-wracking, and it's, gives me a little anxiety to like not know, because that's just who I am. You're similar.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I could really do like a lot of wrong, like Elias trying different majors. Like, I think it's okay to go try
Trial
some
and
different
error.
things.
Trial and
Yeah,
error.
I do.
Yeah.
And I think that that's going to be, really important. I mean, to do.
It'll be fun to like showcase that.
It's
Us
gonna be
doing that.
really fun. And I think traveling this winter and going to these snowboard competitions
It'll be really funny.
Going to be a lot of fun. It is. But even I could bring, people in to the restaurant and show them like, what I do, which is party planning and event coordinating.
It's amazing.
And I'm HR.
What you do.
I'm HR also.
No, you do. You
But
do a lot of hats.
it's
You have a lot of
busy,
hats.
It's
You're very busy.
Right now I'm very busy.
Yeah.
It's going to be a busy
And I'm
winter.
happy that you are. And that you
Right. Well,
I
I'm
mean-
busy with that, and you're busy with Maya. So.
Oh yeah, so everyone, I got a dog.
Yeah.
Which
Jen has a dog. Say it out loud.
I have a dog, which I never ever agreed to do. And then suddenly I have this little thing that is like a toddler starting all over. And I think I was really reluctant to have the responsibility again, because I was finally free to like leave, and I know you worried about that with me. Like, you want to be able to go do this, you want to be able to go do that. And anyway, Nate begged and begged and begged and begged, and we were in Europe this summer, and we saw all these
dogs at that
dogs.
villa.
And he made me watch The Dog's Purpose, and the movie made me cry. And the next thing you know, I have little Maya, and you're a grandma to her.
I am. I'm an auntie.
So that has been my new like sense of like taking care of, nurturing.
And it's really been great for you.
It actually has.
I mean, it's
I'm a weird dog lady.
You are. You are. You are a weird dog.
I go to this dog park every day, and I see the same people, and we say hello, and we.
Oh, yeah. Part of the group.
But it's part of the,
Absolutely.
And I think another thing I learned, which I would love to share with everybody, is that, I've always had a lot of anxiety, just naturally, just built that way. My family upbringing, and I think the relationships I've had have not contributed well to that.
Agreed.
And so finding ways to work through that anxiety, I've always exercised, that. But getting out and walking this dog in nature, in the cold, in the, whatever element I've got going on,
Yeah.
I feel better.
Yeah. It's great.
It's great.
Yeah. And
She's funny. I don't even know what she is. We got this genetic test, which we'll have to reveal. We'll do a dog reveal. Thank you for tuning in and listening to this week's episode of JK, It's Not About You.
You can write in and ask your questions on our show's Instagram page at JK It's Not About You, and we will address your questions on the next week's episode.
If this episode helped you, we would love for you to share it with your friends and family.
Share the fun with all those that can benefit from a good laugh or cry with us.
Please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and we would greatly appreciate you.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.